Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Cowboy Boys Podcast, episode, I think 18.
Yeah.
Joining me, last minute substitution,
Yeah.
Michael Abrusci.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for,
I'm back.
what's up? Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
It's nice. I haven't been in the studio, though.
I thought you were on a Patreon.
Not in here.
Oh, this is the new studio.
Yeah, no, Diego was in here.
I have to shift my whole room around. I have to shift my desk 90 degrees. It's not that bad.
That's not terrible.
It's a New York bedroom studio. I feel like because you're here, because I invited a woman, a female comic from out of she doesn't even live in this hemisphere.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
she lives in
Hannah Gadsby.
Hannah Gadsby was going to be on the podcast.
Yeah,
that's true. More true. That's giving away a lot of information, but she canceled.
Yeah,
then I had a realization. I've invited a bunch of people on the podcast.
Yeah,
and I went through it. It's like I've had 5 people who said either no or canceled last minute.
Yeah,
and it's all been women.
Yeah,
it's all, and I don't blame them.
But I think this is indicative of many things, such as the sexual marketplace.
That could be part of it.
Where
it's also
where men are more desperate and will take anything that's given to them, and women are more choosy.
Oh,
maybe even sometimes shutting themselves out of a good possibility.
Interested.
Yeah,
and women should be choosy.
I'm not saying they shouldn't.
That's one of those things where people are like, it's a double standard, and I'm like, yes.
But maybe men should be more choosy too.
I am choosy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm very I'm picky above my league.
Yeah, I think yours is to a detriment.
And people say no. That's the thing. It's really bad when it's long desert spans of being single.
Yeah,
but being a picky
but you're
dater,
kind of a relationship guy, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't like. How do you feel about?
I like to build a relationship with the pussy.
Yeah, I'd be dating the pussy.
I like to wine and dine and get to know everything about her, about the pussy, and write notes and remember by gifts and words of affirmation for the pussy.
But you like to you don't care to date casually as much.
I mean, if she's hot.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of picky.
Yeah.
I had like an argument with a girl once where she's like, "What's your problem?" And I can't remember what it was. And she's like, "I'm like, oh, I'm extremely shallow. I'm 100% shallow. I'm very shallow when it comes to women's physical looks."
That's real.
And she was like, "You're like," and she's like, "I'm like, yeah, be mad at me. You're hot. What do you want to be mad at me for?"
Yeah, you won.
Like, if you weren't hot, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah. Sorry you won the genetic lottery.
Oh,
enough to talk to me, a loser podcaster.
I had to build a personality of a fat man who somehow is more entertaining than he is fat.
Dude, yeah.
But that's it is what it is. It's one of those where I'm like, yeah, that's life.
Dude.
So I do not blame her. I didn't know her either. It was like, hey, I guess we're gonna meet, and then you're gonna come on a podcast. So I'm always wondering.
The woman you got in the argument with. This comedian.
The guest.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why I'm always like, I wonder, do you think is my room too incel-y?
It's if I was a woman,
there's too many monitors.
If I was a woman and I didn't know you and I came in here, I would be.
You ever see those TikToks where they there's like someone has the dating show where they go into like Brooklyn and New York.
Rachel Coster,
and she goes into like
she's a comic.
Yeah, she goes into guys' rooms, and it's really like you bring women back, and
there are a lot of people can't see. There's a lot of monitors in here.
Only one of them's hooked up. I don't have storage.
Yeah, but you can put stuff in the storage area if you want to.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's everyone's storage.
I have to go for that. But I have a monitor. I have a 4K monitor sitting on my dresser that's just sitting up there, not plugged in.
Yeah,
I have another 1080p monitor over there.
I kind of wish I had room for a monitor on my desk. My desk is too shallow.
You have the old.
I have like an old work.
You have a 90s desk.
I have like a.
It's almost like the wood.
It is wood. It's like it's like a workshop for sure.
But I mean, like the old family computer. You need a CRT.
Yeah,
and a beige PC. The old jacking off station.
Dude, I do. I need a control room, a masturbation control room. Well, I guess a no control room.
A what?
Because if it's for masturbation, there's no control.
There's no. But that's the one where it creaks and you're waiting for your mom or dad to come downstairs.
Dude,
it's
I
in the
had
family room.
superhuman hearing because my family computer was in the kitchen, so it was beyond exposed.
In the kitchen?
It was we didn't have any extra rooms. So I grew up in a pretty small house. So there was my sister's room, my parents' room, and my bedroom. Those are the only rooms in the house and the bathroom. So there was like the living room and the kitchen, which were kind of all one room, really.
How crazy that was. Because like before the family computer, people were just finding magazines and jacking off to magazines in the privacy of their bedroom, in the privacy of the woods, in the privacy of behind the dumpster.
Where the privacy of the back seat of a cab.
Yeah, just where you were by yourself. And
then, the Pee-wee situation. That's why they had to put porn on the computer, because of the Pee-wee situation.
Well, what I'm saying is when the computer became like the family computer, before it was the computer or iPhone or everything, there was the family computer.
Yeah.
And it was in the family room or the living room or the kitchen. And so
the fact that it was in the kitchen was strange.
That is a crazy spot, but
I think it was just the only place that there was like enough wall space for that. Because it was like my family living room, there was like a couch and either depending on what era.
That's a TV room.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have the computer and the TV in the same room.
Yeah, because it would either be right by the front door, which is a bad spot because you're in front of the windows.
That's bad feng shui.
Bad feng shui. So there was kind of like a little half wall in between the kitchen and the living room, and the computer desk fit perfectly on that.
Yeah.
So you just kind of stared at the wall. I mean, because it was like, you don't need a window behind a computer anyway.
No, it's nice.
It is nice, but there was windows next to it.
Sometimes if I'm jacking off at my computer, I'm like, do the neighbors? Because you could see the neighbor. I'm like, do the neighbors?
No.
But that's like a New York thing where I'm like, hey, if you're looking at my window, that's on you.
Dude, I was at a comic's house once after a show.
You were jacking off?
Dude, there was like 5 or 6 of us, and she has a balcony off her apartment.
Nice.
And you could see across the courtyard into a guy's apartment, and he was, no joke, jacking off for about an hour and a half.
He was gooning.
Or I think because I know this posture quite well, he was sexting.
What is the posture? Was he sitting or was he
like
laying down?
He was kind of walking around. He was like jacking off. He was like because he had his own apartment, or it seemed to be his own apartment,
Yeah.
So he was kind of going from bedroom to living room, butt naked, jacking off, jacking off, stopping. Because I don't think he came.
Yeah, you don't when you're sexting. Yeah, you get soft.
Keep it going. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, she's not responding anymore.
Exactly.
She's taking too long. And then she's like, actually, I'm still here. And like, oh, then you go back and forth.
And that's exactly what was happening. It was going on for so long. I was like, I'm intrigued. He had his windows so open too. It was like
lights on.
Lights really on.
And I think you just get used to it after a year. You're like, hey, I don't care. I've seen some naked people. I need to repay my debt.
Yeah, I had to be the naked person also.
And whatever, they don't know me. They're not coming over to my building.
Yeah, exactly, because it was like the back of her building saw through the courtyard into the back of his building.
So were you like, everybody come here quick?
Yeah, because we were all hanging out on the balcony.
That's when you get the laser pointer out.
Dude, yeah.
Right as he comes, we saw everything.
Dude, right here, officer. This fucking guy.
Yeah, sexting is never worth it. Dude, I love it, but it's never worth it.
Nah, man, it sucks. It's bad. I'm kind of, I said it on A Little Time? You did a Patreon episode of A Little Time, and I said I was off jerking off, but
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember if I said it. I lied.
You thought it?
I think I said it, but I think we were talking about a bunch of other stuff also. I'm trying to get off porn, I think. I'm gonna because I deleted my OnlyFans account
because you were posting a lot of
videos
of yourself on OnlyFans.
I was just showing a little too much hole, I think, for a guy who still wants to be respected as an artist. But it is funny that OnlyFans accounts work that way, to where people are like, I'm in the top 10%, and it's like, they count your account. Oh yeah,
they count
yeah.
every single account as an account.
I would subscribe to someone, allegedly, And then they'd be like, they subscribe to your profile.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, look at me, I'm a creator.
I think I'm in the top 50% of OnlyFans accounts.
just from the accounts following you back.
Yeah, the 6 accounts that followed me back.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I get it. I go through.
But yeah, I had to get off that. I was like, I can't be fucking. Not that I can't be paying for it, but I was like, I keep paying for OnlyFans and being disappointed by the content.
I'm sorry.
Which is fine. No, it's fine.
No, you shouldn't have to go through that.
Thank you. It's really hard for me.
It's hard being a man. Well, we suffer daily.
Not enough people respect my tragedy. The tragedy that is my life of paying $5 and being like, this is fine.
Paying $5, and then she's like, if you really want to see the real stuff,
dude, yeah,
it's behind a paywall. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, which is I'm like, listen, the fact that it's behind a paywall is fine, but I feel like it's like,
you don't get to charge me twice.
That's the thing.
Say it up front.
Either charge $30 a month and be like, hey, I got videos of fucking in here, or have it be free and then charge for the videos or whatever.
Yeah.
But to do this kind of both situation, I'm like, hey, also like, hey, congratulations. There's some guys you're getting to pay on the way in and out or whatever. Some guys are paying twice.
I think it's still like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I haven't fallen in love with a woman online recently.
Yeah.
So
I'm out. I just deleted my entire account.
You deleted it.
I deactivated, whatever it is. The whole thing is gone. I don't really care.
I haven't subbed to anyone in like 8 months, but I have to keep it active just in case I'm like, what's going on here?
That's the thing. If I keep it active, I'm gonna get.
That's fair.
I'm gonna get got. I know my willpower. I have to get it out.
Yeah, I don't have enough money to have willpower.
Yeah.
So that helps.
To have to, you don't have enough money to need willpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it for psychological, like everything else? You're just like, no more gooning?
I just don't ever feel good after it.
That's fair.
I mean, sometimes I feel good but it's like most of the time I don't feel, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's my technique. But I don't feel good like inside my body or my spirit after I jack off. So maybe I need to take a tolerance break.
Probably. What's the longest you've gone without?
Couple weeks, probably.
And did you feel that your testosterone boosts?
I don't know. I didn't think about it because I was like in my early 20s. And I went on tour with my band for like 3 weeks. And I was just like, I'm not going to jack off for the entire time I go on tour. Which is like fine. I was acting crazy by the end of it. So maybe it was bad. Yeah, I was kind of being strange. But
the weird thing is I'll hit like day 45.
Whoa, 45?
I'll do that all the time.
Do you
and then I do like a full week 3 times a day.
Yeah, and then you have to turn this into a goon cave, so you really can't have women guests on here.
I don't have to clean everything and shift my room all around.
That's why you should. That's when you rearrange your room. You're like, I jacked off in this one area too much,
too many times.
Yeah,
don't even go in that corner. Bad things happened over there.
Don't look in that weird bucket in the corner.
Don't open the bottom drawer of my dresser.
Yeah,
but. No, I'll be like day 45, and I'll be as the Zoomers say, I'll go feral, and I'll be like on the prowl. I'll be on the apps. I'll be like talking to like I'll be like smiling to women in the streets, be like, hey, what's up, girl? And they'll be like talking to. But it's like there's something emanating from you where women like seek me out.
Yeah, the smell of cum coming out of your pores.
Yeah, and so when it comes out of your dick, this gross.
It's disgusting. But when you sweat it out, they're like. That's what pheromones are.
Exactly. And so women will find me when I'm weak.
Yeah.
When I have every chemical telling me, and then I'll
That's when you're your most breedable.
Mm-hmm. I'm very submissible.
Yeah,
I'm very breedable.
Well, you're all full up, dude. You're
so vulnerable.
You're really
Have you seen the women that take advantage of me?
I have, yeah.
Even I'm still pretty picky, and sometimes I'm like,
yeah.
But I never finished the thought.
Oh yeah,
about the family computer.
I'm sorry. I'll never riff again.
No, it's fine. It's I want to go back to it because I want to riff with 100% freedom of my brain.
That's true.
Because nowadays kids are all jacking off on their phones.
I jack off on my phone also.
Yeah, everyone jacks off.
I don't use the computer.
Everyone jacks off. I do my phone 90% of the time.
Yeah. I just don't like using a computer.
It's too.
I didn't have one for so long That once I stopped jacking off on the family computer, I'm like, it's all phone for me.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I'm like, because it was the magazines, it was the private theaters or the weird little caves.
God.
And so our generation had to be the one generation where it's like, oh, there's a thing that the entire family shares.
Yeah.
And your dad also had this problem. Not just
he did.
Not just us. So
yeah.
And I bet he also was really happy that smartphones came around.
I think that I feel like my dad had a good way to. That's first of all, it's really funny. It's kind of a bit, but I mean, I don't know why I said kind of. That's a bit, but I would wake up. I would go to school. I loved watching TV.
You wake up at 6 a.m. and your dad's on the computer, like, "What are you doing? Taxes."
Yeah, doing taxes with my pants off. I'm doing Winnie the Pooh style taxes.
And you're a kid, so you're like, of course.
Yeah, obviously. I guess that's the easiest way. It's way easier to get all the stuff out of your pockets if you don't have them on. But I would wake up for school or whatever. I'd be like, time to watch TV. And every day I would turn it on, and my dad, because my dad would leave for work at whatever, 6 a.m, whatever my dad leaves for work. And there was like a channel that always showed just like aerobics.
Nice.
So it would be on the aerobics channel and the TV would be muted.
And your mom doesn't wake up for another 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And your dad's just got left for work.
Yeah. So he's like, dude, my dad had a copy of Cops Too Hot for TV.
Nice.
On VHS. And there was a part of it where that part that was definitely too hot for TV, where they go to Mardi Gras.
Excellent.
And there's just so many women that are topless in it. And there's one with this woman that has the roundest implants I've ever seen in my entire life. They're perfectly circular. They look like two grapefruits stapled to her chest.
Too perfect.
They're too perfect. They're not even perfect. They're just too
circular.
Too circular.
I like, because there's a perfect hit, and then there's implants that are just circles,
yeah, no,
which I also love.
This is like a 90s. This is before the technology got good. Yeah. You can tell these are bolt-ons that are rock hard.
Nice.
But she takes,
and I come from the trailer park, and I love those.
Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, they do something for me for sure. Like they don't. It's not that they don't do anything, but then I dated a woman that had good fake boobs.
And you're like, I wish these were bolt-ons.
Yeah, I wish these were harder and weirder.
I wonder if those will make like a comeback, because all the young generation is dressing like Y2K aesthetic.
Yeah, I think they've gone past it, because by Y2K they could be good, the implants.
But I'm saying like implants is like, no, I don't want the ones that look natural. I want, because there are bimbos. Bimbofication is like a thing, and they're like, I want the ones that make me look like a fucking freak, which I love.
Yeah,
I love a bimbo. That still does something for me.
Yeah, that does something. The kind of like Pam Anderson, Jenny McCarthy, kind of like 90s bimbo.
I think when it's a bimbo and you're also like a Dolly Parton, like, oh, I'm also like intelligent and creative. Yeah, that really is like fun,
dude. I watched,
because she's like, not only am I going to go way crazy with my femininity,
yeah,
I'm also interested. And you're like, what the fuck? This is cool,
dude. The way that Dolly Parton does femininity, it almost feels like she's doing drag.
All right,
where you're like, this is so, maybe not so much now, because I mean, she's older, but it's like when she was a little bit younger, it's like, this is almost like cartoonish.
Yeah, well, she was like born with giant tits, right?
Yeah, she was blessed. So, she's blessed by the
Lord.
Which
I think explains why she's very nice.
Yeah. Apparently she's also there's rumors that you only ever see her in like full jackets, because she has full sleeves.
I've heard that, but I've also seen her arms.
Oh, okay then.
So I don't
like recently? Like her recent arms, or her like older?
I feel like old recently.
Yeah.
But no, I think Dolly Parton, yeah. I've also spread that rumor before, but then I saw her arms were like,
and then you're like, God, she just has varicose veins because she's an old woman.
Yeah, I'm an old beautiful woman.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I would
beautiful soul.
I'd do anything, or a couple things. I'd do a couple things.
No, I'd do anything she asked me to.
Yeah.
Anything she asked me and wanted me to do.
Get vaccinated.
For her, yeah.
Yeah.
I would get the HPV vaccine for her,
because she's pro-vaccine. She Moderna or Pfizer?
Is she?
She like gave them a bunch of money.
Damn.
For the COVID vaccine.
And no one's perfect.
Yeah.
But Shout out to all the bimbos out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we watched. Was it on? What was it when we were doing the Twitch stream? We watched an episode of Singled Out on YouTube.
What's Singled Out?
That was the show. It was like a dating show. It was Chris Hardwick hosted it, and Jenny McCarthy was like the sexy lady sidekick. But
did Colin Quinn take over that?
Or no, that was Remote Control.
Oh, okay.
On MTV. That's way older. Not way older, but older. But so Singled Out was a show where there was
I remember that show.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick is so over the top goofy.
Yeah, and Jenny McCarthy.
More than he is now.
Yeah.
It's very 90s.
It's so...
I'm wacky Chris Hardwick from the 90s.
Yeah, it's literally like, it feels like he's in like a Doritos commercial doing an impression of like a guy hosting a TV show.
And Jenny McCarthy's like, hey, I'm hot.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get hotter.
Yeah, but
you're not going to believe this.
Because she's being kind of crude and sexy. And it was like...
It's 90s MTV edge.
Yeah, but I was like watching it and being like, fuck, dude, yeah, she was like... one of the sexiest people alive. Not that she's not now, but at that point, I was like, "Holy fucking shit!"
And she's the anti-vax.
She's anti. So she's the yin to Dolly Parton's yang.
Damn.
Who was she dating?
Jim Carrey.
And they broke up because of the vax thing.
I don't know why they broke up, but I think they had like an autistic baby, and Jim Carrey was doing. This is all before COVID for anyone. This is like back in the early 2000s where Jenny McCarthy was like, vaccines are bad and they made my baby autistic.
Yeah.
Which happened, that was like before, that was the whole reason.
Yeah, instead of just being like, look who the parents are. Jim Carrey and Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
I think the sperm and the egg made that kid autistic.
What was that? I was thinking about how I'm like, oh, there was something. I wish I could remember. I was thinking about like, it was definitely... something my dad did. I'm like, oh, he's 100% autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could.
But it's the thing. Do you think that we're maybe overdiagnosing it in people? I think casually.
I think a lot of people are over self-diagnosing it on TikTok.
That's what I mean.
There's that. I also think it is going up. I also think.
Or do you think we just know what it is now?
I think it is that too, because it's like back in the day. What's up, mice and men? Like Lenny, he was probably just an autistic,
like nonverbal guy,
and there was like 100 of those guys. He's just a little slow, but we gave him a hammer, and he's good at his job, and he goes to his little shack and eats the same meal every day.
It is funny that
Sling blade,
like back then they would make autistic guys do
small engine, like, oh, he's really good at working on small engines.
Yeah, and then now that's like we have to pretend that autistic people are not able to even like hold down a job.
I mean,
like we have to treat them with like baby hands now.
Those are the ones where I think because I'm like, what percentage of autism do I have? 5-10%?
Because there's so many different flavors too, you know?
I think there's a lot of ADHD people.
And then
that's a choice.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist.
Because I think I'm like pretty sure I have it.
I think everyone who was raised in the internet is getting blood. Like when our parents were worried about like cartoons melting our brains, and they had no idea what was to come. Yeah, TikTok is destroying me. Yeah, which I love.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm so. It's like because it's one of those things where it's like I'm pretty sure I have ADHD or something or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm curbing that with reading books.
I've just decided I don't. I've just decided that it doesn't affect me. Any of these like things that I just go like, oh, that just doesn't affect me.
Yeah, you can just read a book.
ADHD or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Well, I'll try to put some things in place to remember stuff instead of just being like, because it's the thing where it's like, there's just some people who go like, oh, this thing is, I have this thing, whatever it is, and that's going to be number one, the defining characteristic of me, and number two, I'm going to let it control my entire life. So they're like, I have ADHD. I'm the ADHD guy.
Well,
and it's gonna be my excuse for everything, and it's gonna be the thing I talk about the most. Instead of just being like, dude, just take Adderall and figure it out, or don't, and just fucking buckle up,
deal with it, because everyone has it.
Yeah,
your parents have it.
Yeah,
your parents are even have less tools to deal with it because they come from a time when I think of like when
they
were
thought your
kids.
dad was gay.
I'm thinking of like, oh, I just got home from school. I know 10 phone numbers of all my friends.
Yeah.
Maybe even if they had a phone, it's like I'm gonna go down to the milk shop, the milkshake shop, and see if I can talk to a girl. Like that was the thing. And today I'm like, I'm being bombarded at every single, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just,
I do think it is a bad thing.
It is bad, but it's like, hey, that's the world we live in.
I think that's the thing.
So everyone has to deal with the same bombardment from everything, unless you nut up and move into a cabin in the woods.
Dude, I do think about it all the time where I'm like, because I was looking through, I was like rearranging stuff in my room, like kind of just like getting rid of some garbage. And I found my box that I keep with all of my old like Apple electronics in it. Like I have all my old iPhones and iPods and all that shit in like in an iPhone box basically. And
that's fun to look at. I have my like G1, my original Android phone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, damn, they should bring back physical keyboards. Dude, touchscreens suck.
Dude, I couldn't tell you the most I've ever loved a phone was my BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry and it was fucking awesome. But I was like, man, life would actually be kind of sick if I just because I can put like a SSD drive into my old iPod and just have like, oh, here's like a fucking, I can put like 9 terabytes of music on it then. And it's like, oh, what if I just had an iPod and a flip phone? And then I'm like, that would actually be so annoying. Like that would make my life so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
that would suck.
Because now
I have to fucking I have to call Google Maps on my fucking flip phone. Like, what am I gonna do?
You're carrying 2 different devices. 2 of your pockets are full. One of them's getting scratched up by your keys.
Yeah.
That's why it is like, your phone does everything. It rules.
Yeah. I'd be sick if I could have like an iPhone 4 where I'm like, I can still play music on it. I can still text. I can still call. I can still do directions, but I don't have to do anything else on it.
You're thinking of the simple phone.
The light phone.
The light phone? I don't know. It's the black and white one where it has Google Maps, has Spotify, and it's it's heavily marketed to Williamsburg types.
Yeah. I do. I mean, I am susceptible to stuff like that for sure. But yeah, I do want that. God damn it.
Really see my I always go into autism mode where I'm like, I do need a lossless FLAC player.
Yeah.
With I'm walking around with my Sennheiser high $600 headphones.
Do you have really nice headphones?
I used to. I used to have really nice Sennheisers. I spent like $300 or $400 on them.
Yeah, the noise canceling ones, or like the ones with the cable still.
Just the big thick cable, like the
coil.
old full.
Yeah.
I gave them to my ex, who
big mistake, brother.
She's got them. I think she lost them. I think someone she did. This is years. This is like 8 years ago. But whatever. I'll get a new pair.
I do kind of wish. I mean, I have AirPods, but I do kind of wish I had like a nice pair of headphones, like over the ear headphones.
Just get some.
Yeah,
I guess Sennheisers.
You know what? I don't know what's stopping me. Because I have these like over the ear noise canceling headphones that I got for like when I was really, really broke. I got them for when I was flying to Australia. And they were like $70, $80. Like, and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
It was just that they're cheap. So now like the ear cup is like flaking and it's just like, they're just like whatever. They're like probably 4 or 5 years old now at this point. So it's like, it's like this one of those things that's like they still kind of work, but it's like tracking down the ear cup for a $50 pair of headphones is like it's not worth it.
Is your hearing ruined from all the punk music?
Yeah, it's fucked.
So maybe it doesn't even matter.
I'm so fucked
because I'm like I've been the guy who goes to concerts with earplugs.
Nah, dude, my shit is so bad.
So
if I'm like,
I put on those like headphones and I'm like listening to like, oh my god, Kanye put different little sounds in like I listen to music and hear I'm that asshole who can tell like, oh, I know what bit rate this MP3 was recorded at.
I was listening to something recently and I was like, oh man, I could tell it was like a hardcore record and I was like, I could tell that this is recorded onto like, first of all, recorded onto a MacBook. Like this was recorded in GarageBand originally. So it sounds kind of digital. And then I'm listening to it on Spotify through my AirPods and it sounded like
ass.
It really did sound like ass. It sounded like you know that what is that? That like first MTV video, We gotta move these refrigerators. We gotta move
Dire
these
Straits
color TVs. Yeah, and you know how like blocky and square
the 3D animation.
That's what it sounded like to me. Like it sounded like that video looks.
Did you ever download songs on early Napster that was compressed? It was like 16 bits.
Yeah, dude.
Of MP3s.
Yeah,
and it was really you could hear the individual square waves.
Yeah, I was a big Napster guy, and then I got onto what was another one? BearShare,
Kazaa.
Yeah,
SoulSeek is still going.
I feel like was SoulSeek like the least intuitive? Yeah, that's what I never really used it then because I was just like, I have Kazaa, I have all the other shit, and then there was a time period where maybe it was just like the people that I knew, and I feel like now this is probably an awful idea, but there's a thing on AOL Instant Messenger where you could set like a public folder on your computer, and just have stuff on there, and people could download from it.
That's a bad idea because people could upload.
I don't think people could upload to it.
Oh, they could just download?
I think you can only download.
That's SoulSeek.
Yeah, it's basically like AOL Instant Messenger's version of SoulSeek. Or just like, so it's like, oh, if you have this person on your buddy list, you can like click and then go to whatever this thing is. And then, so I knew these people that had like these crazy...
Just libraries?
Yeah, and I would just go in there and be like, oh, here's every fucking hardcore record. Oh, here's every Pixies record. Oh, here's whatever. Like all this shit.
I used to have thousands of gigs of
Dude, I used
music.
to have I still have some. I just like consolidated all my hard drives that I have into like one place. And if you like open some of them up, like I plug some of them in, I'm like, oh, I have like 100 gigs of music on there. Like of like bands fucking demos and all this shit. Like nothing that is a lot of stuff that's not on streaming because it's not worth the putting it up there for people.
Because the band's dead and no one...
Yeah, it's like some band that put out one 4-song EP in 2007, and then they're like, oh, whatever. All the people that have ever listened to this are going to have listened to it.
They already have it on tape or 8-track. I switched from Spotify.
Yeah, you're an Apple Music guy now.
I'm an
right?
Apple Music guy now. Because Spotify was like, we're going up $1, and I'm like, I don't care about $1. I'm not like I'm not gonna be an asshole. Like $12 extra a year. Fuck you.
Yeah, but it does feel kind of like a fuck you.
There was that
from them,
and then I was just like, it happened on the same day. Apple emailed me and they're like, hey, we got a 2-month free trial, and then I saw like a third thing where someone.
Well, that has to be like a orchestrated thing.
Yeah, it was
on Apple's part.
It probably read my phone, all the data, whatever, has the full thing.
Yeah.
And so it was a coordinated attack. It was perfect because then I saw like a TikTok that was like, actually, Spotify doesn't record at 96 kilohertz a second. That's technically what they give you, but their MP3 encoding is shittier.
Yeah, like they're
compressed.
able to do 96 kilohertz a second, but they do 52 or something like that.
And so I started doing like, I paid $2 for an app to transfer everything, all my playlists over
to Apple Music.
And I started going back and forth. So I'm like, it does sound better.
Did you A/B them? Yeah, because I did that
for a bunch.
I did that for a couple things, but I was like doing it for like hardcore records where I'm like, this probably just sounds like shit. I have to do it for like music that is recorded in a studio and not like a room in some guy's house.
I'll let you use it.
I have Apple Music for free.
Wow.
Like it's like a thing I'm on like a family plan or something. I just don't use it ever because I'm just like the same thing with Netflix, same thing with all this shit. I'm like, I'm just in the same thing with Apple. I'm like, I'm in your ecosystem already.
Yeah.
All my shit is in Spotify.
Well,
I don't know because it's like, can you listen to do they have podcasts on Apple Music? Like, can you download your podcasts?
I don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, I listen to. There's a couple podcasts I listen to, and I listen to them. It's weird. There's a couple I listen to on Spotify, and a couple I listen to in the Apple Podcast app. And I guess I could just listen to all of them in the Apple Podcast app. I think it's a different app. Yeah, it's probably the Apple Podcast app.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but also Spotify has free audiobooks now.
Yeah, I don't use those.
Yeah, I do. So I'm like, I'm kind of here already.
But it's all those things I used to have all like thousands of songs on a hard drive, but I don't because it's easier to use the app.
Yeah.
And it's all convenience for me. As soon as Apple Music and Spotify get a little too comfy, I'm going straight back to SoulSeek.
Dude, I mean, that is the thing, though.
Build my Plex server with like MP3s.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wanted to say that, not that we would have a Plex server in the house, but if someone would have a Plex server in the house, that would be cool. With, movies acquired however they are. But this thing with like, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to skirt around the law here for you, brother.
I'm trying to spread information to everyone else. But
Dude,
you
should be stealing stuff.
You should figure out.
But I am like, I think because I mean I've had this feeling for a while, where I'm like, we're kind of shackled to all these companies that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Where it's like, every week there's a new streaming service that has broken down more things like further apart.
Yeah.
And then like, so it's like, I have to have 15 different streaming services to watch the movies I want to watch.
Yeah, you remember me checking out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So I'm like,
hey, I'm not paying for Netflix anymore.
Yeah.
So someone I don't know who pays for it now.
I think Diego does.
Where I'm like, no, fuck this.
But I'm like, physical media. Like, that's the thing I was like, physical media is the way to go. I guess technically, like, having it on a hard drive to me now is physical media.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I have this. But I guess also, like, a hard drive can be corrupted and a physical media can't unless it, like, breaks.
The hard drive definitely can fail, which is why you need to build a RAID server. And then now you're getting into really technical asshole.
Dude, that was my ex had a Plex server. Like, she had, like, a separate computer that was the Plex server. But she would have to reset it all the time.
Yeah.
So I like every day, and she lived in Australia. So it would be like whatever, 10 at night here. So it would be like 8 in the morning.
Oh, you would stream stuff from Australia?
Yeah.
That's very
from
funny.
her Plex server. And I would just be like, hey, the Plex server's not working again. Can you reset it? And she'd be like, I just woke up and I'll get to it when I do. And I go like, okay, but I'm like trying to watch this movie. I got in the movie mode. I bought the candy already.
She didn't set it up to where you could reset it remotely?
Her computer? No.
That's the thing. She got to...
No. She didn't love me that much.
You just got to be a little more technical.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a way you can set up hard drives to... It's called... there's different RAID arrays.
Yeah.
To where if one drive fails... The other ones still have all the information.
Okay.
It basically, like, say you have 4 hard drives.
Yeah.
Every hard drive will have a little bit. Every hard drive will have like 2/3 of the file.
Oh,
so you're not using, say you have like 100 gigs over all of them.
Yeah.
You really only have 70 gigs of space because the extra 30 is still like, well, that's the backup for
this.
Those other 3 in case, and it's
interesting.
Really gets into very technical. So
yeah, I barely understand that.
You can go down a rabbit hole of building a whole computer with 10 to 20 hard drives, having terabytes of stuff, and people do. And I'm like, seems cool if you got money.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to build a server with every single comedy,
like special
album, and then charge comics $5 a month
I'll say this:
illegal service.
I'd pay it.
But it's
like the fucking Library of Congress, but just for stand-up.
But that's the hardest thing to find, I found.
It is so difficult.
It's because it's like finding...
because a lot of it was never like physical media.
Yeah, a lot of it was like, Comedy Central aired it at 2 a.m. for 2 weeks. Yeah, and unless some weirdo recorded it on VHS,
and
that's done.
And then
they're just sitting in the archives and they're not releasing it. They don't even upload it to their services.
Yeah.
It's that Harlan Williams special I love.
The Netflix one.
No, not the Netflix one.
I saw it on Netflix. The one in the desert. Yeah, that was one of the first Netflix specials I ever saw.
That makes sense because that's back when Netflix still had DVDs.
Yeah,
no, it's really good.
No, because there was a time when Netflix first started streaming. I think it was like 2000 and.
They got so lucky.
2011, maybe.
Live at the Purple Onion with Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
That was like launch. That was like month 1.
Yeah. They had that Harlan Williams one pretty early on. I remember. No, this was like 2012, 2013, maybe. Because I remember watching it in my apartment on Long Island. I had just gotten a PS3.
Wow.
I think PS4 might have been already out, but I had a PS3, and I remember being like, I got it so I could play Skate 3.
I still have my PlayStation 3.
I have mine somewhere.
So I can play Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it in 10 years, but I still have it.
Just in case. I still have my Nintendo 64 that I got in the year 1998. I still have it somewhere. It's upstairs, I think. But because I remember, it's like I was living in Albany still when Netflix streaming came out. Because I remember watching, the State was on there.
The State?
Yeah, like the whole series of The State was on there, all this other stuff. And I just remember watching it and being like, I can't believe I don't have to go. Because I used to go to the library and get DVDs all the time. That was my thing. Not like I invented it, but that was like, I had no money, but I was like, oh, I can ride my bike to the library and get shit for free. I should still do that. I don't know, man. I gotta stop spending so much money. I'm really bad at it.
I'll just teach you how to find stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of my curses, is being able to find anything online.
I mean, that's not a curse for us.
No,
it really works out well for us.
I'm like,
when we go like, hey, we want to watch The Fugitive, and then like 8 minutes later, you're like, okay, we'll be ready in 4 minutes.
That's the thing. If it's not on the big three, I'm not jumping through the hoops to watch your shit. I'm going to illegally pirate and download it and steal it and watch it.
What's the big three? Netflix, Max, and Prime?
Netflix, HBO, and Amazon.
Yeah.
Anything else is...
Dude, fuck Amazon. I mean, obviously, but...
Amazon's the black sheep where they sometimes have weird comedy things.
They do have weird, cool stuff, but they have commercials on everything now, including movies. Makes me want to kill myself. Makes me so fucking mad, it's insane.
And I refuse to watch ads. Advertisements are the Antichrist.
Oh, interesting.
I really hate them.
Dude, that's why YouTube Premium.
I had to. I've been doing it forever.
Greatest investment of all time. I cannot watch regular YouTube anymore.
It's the thing where, when you haven't had a Coca-Cola in a year or two, and then you drink it, you're like, oh, it's poison. Yeah. Delicious, amazing poison.
Dude,
when you see an ad on YouTube, because we have them blocked and we have the YouTube Premium, you finally see it, you're like, what the fuck? Where's my video? This is like, ugh.
Oh, what the fuck? What is Floam?
It's so loud and like jarring and like...
Dude, I let myself...
Hey, are you sitting there jerking off alone?
And you're like,
what the hell?
What, are we jerking off with somebody else?
I hate YouTube ads.
Yeah. Mr. Beast again?
Mr. Beast is like, what's up, handsome? You jerking off alone in your underwear?
Well,
no.
Watch me bury myself alive for a week. Maybe that'll make you come, you fucking pervert.
Mr. Mark of the Beast.
Dude. He is the Antichrist.
Yeah, he's got no soul.
Dude, it's so fucked.
There's no soul behind his eyes. I don't hate him.
I do hate him, actually.
I don't hate him because he is a homunculus. So he doesn't have a soul. I don't hate soulless things. I don't enjoy them.
Yeah.
And I call him a thing. I guess I don't hate.
No, his whole he is a thing because he's not a person. He's a corporation.
He's essentially a corporation.
Yeah.
So, but it's like if someone with a soul harms me, then I hate them. Then we have a beef, and I got to
because they knew better.
They knew better. You were gifted with free will. I don't think Mr. Beast has free will. I think he randomly just fell into the habit of this algorithm, and he's such a machine.
Yeah,
he just responds to his environment. That it was perfect.
Yeah,
is the perfect storm. And props to shout out to Mr. Beast.
No,
good for you.
I do not agree. I'm
cursed with the knowledge of good and evil.
I'm saying I don't agree.
My ancestors ate from the apple, so I have to know. I'm like, fuck. I can't do. I can't sell it like that. That's bad. That stinks.
Yeah. Dude, that's the worst. It's the worst thing I've ever did was becoming part of a subculture before I did comedy, because I have too many like things I won't do. Not that they're being offered to me. But like all these things where I'm like, oh, I can't do the Rocket Money commercial where I do fake stand up because I have morals and I respect the thing that I do.
Subculture?
I think there's a thing where it's like I think of like selling out. I think it's like coming from like punk and hardcore.
But I think there's plenty of people who are in the punk rock scene who do wherever you get your morality from.
Yeah.
Some people get it from religion. Some people get it from the Boy Scouts of America, like me. Some people get it from punk rock.
Yeah.
There's plenty of punk rock people who have sold out.
Oh,
there's plenty of
sure.
There's plenty of Boy Scouts who have had gay sex with their their other scouts.
They are not thrifty, brave, clean, or reverent anymore.
So, and I think it's not necessarily. Also, it's a type of selling out.
Yeah, it also is all fake.
If someone's like, "Hey, we want to do ads on podcasts," I'm like, "Hell yeah." I'm gonna do them. I'm gonna do it the way I do them.
That's the thing where it's like I've been vegan for so long. It's like I don't know if I could do an ad for like the new Arby's XXL beef and cheddar bonanza.
Why not? You just be like, "Hey, I'm vegan. I've never had one."
Because
they're giving me money to say it's good.
If I'm allowed to do that,
that's what I mean. You can't do it.
But they won't let me.
But they don't know that. You do that the first time, and then they get fired, and then you get even more clout.
Or I just don't make any money.
I'm saying that's the happy medium, is to be like, yeah, I'll do your ad.
I'm going to do it exactly how I want to do it. Hey, I'm going to do it how I want to do it.
Exactly. I think you can earn money without selling out. I think you
can too, but I think you could earn more money by selling out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so easy. The fastest way is to sell out.
Yeah.
The fastest way to,
because I could be like, hey, I'm getting paid by Arby's to I'm
actually breaking vegan edge.
Yeah,
because the Arby's burger smelled so good. I
had to eat it. Yeah, and it's definitely not factory farmed garbage full of slop and poison.
If a vegan told me they broke veganism because the burger smelled good, I'd have to try that burger.
Yeah,
that would be the best advertisement. Moby's advertising the new Mr. Beast burger, and I'm like,
Like, well, dude, if Moby did it, I'd have to try it.
Two really bad people I'm against, but
who's worse?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast is worse because his
he's worse for society.
Yeah, his influence is much bigger than Moby's
because he just creates junk food. Moby had two like really cool songs.
He had an album,
and he's just an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole. I'll say this: I've been to his restaurants; they are pretty good.
How many restaurants does he have?
He had one in New York. He has one in L.A. They're pretty good.
Just vegan?
Yeah, just vegan, whatever. Had some kind of weird nachos there. And the one in L.A. He's in a place here called Teeny.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this on the podcast. I know I've talked to you about it, where I don't hate vegan food.
Yeah.
Maybe we talked about it when I had that vegan macaroni the other day.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
I'm not going to say... Wait. I kind of just said the brand. I'm not going to say the brand because they sent it to us for free.
Oh, they sent it to you.
That brand sent us a bunch of stuff. We have a.
Is that a small brand?
It's a small brand. They're one of the only, like, I actually watched a video about this recently, about today. But this guy, there's like this vegan TikToker who he like just does like vegan food reviews, and some vegans got really mad at him for reviewing the Oscar Mayer vegan dog. Because they're like, why would you review and promote something made by a company that, like, does animal agriculture? Is the phrase that he said.
It's a good phrase.
It's pretty good, and
makes it sound nice.
It does. But he was like, well, if you want to find a vegan, like a meat substitute company that is not owned by a company that does animal agriculture, you have about 4 options. One of them's Impossible, and they did animal testing to make the Impossible burgers and stuff, so that doesn't count. Like
they feed the hamburgers to cows
and see if they go mad. But there's like the brand that sent us that stuff, and then like there's
all right. I'm not gonna say the brand.
No. And then there's a brand that was
because I want you to keep getting free stuff.
I want to keep getting free stuff too because some of their items are really good.
All right.
The macaroni and cheese is not my favorite.
I'm going to say this about the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
The noodles came pre-cooked.
It is strange.
Which is insane.
It is very strange.
And they were different consistencies of al dente or whatnot.
Across the noodle package.
Some of them were really soft and some of them were really hard, which is weird. And then you just squeeze the cheese out of a bag.
Yeah, it's very...
So it's 2 packets.
It's like Velveeta style, like...
Yeah, and the cheese tasted fine. Smelled horrific.
That smells really bad.
And so you heat it up. I heat it up in the microwave. We actually have 2 boxes. I'm gonna try boiling it.
Oh, interesting. Because I did it in the you used to be able to just do it in a frying pan, like in a skillet.
Maybe that too. But my whole thing with vegan food is like some of it is delicious. That one Guevara's down that's one of the best breakfast sandwiches. It's an eggplant.
Oh, the torta? Or do you get the sandwich?
The eggplant sandwich.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because they have like a breakfast torta too. That's really good.
And so,
dude, they have fucking. They're probably
the donuts
expensive.
are crazy.
Donuts are crazy. The empanadas are really good too.
Empanadas.
They run out of the egg and cheese one early usually, but it's really fucking good.
I don't think I go for the egg and cheese. And
they have a garbanzo bean one too. That's really good.
I might go for that. And I don't like. My problem with vegan food is the one you've heard. It's like why are they emulating why I don't like Impossible.
Yeah.
Even though Impossible is pretty, that's like 80-95% of the way. It's like this if I was drunk,
I'm kind of over it, to be honest. I kind of like when I go to a place and get like a weird old style veggie burger instead.
Yeah, it's familiar. You know what?
Black bean and veggies all mushed together.
So but I'm like, I don't like how vegan food is always like, look, we smushed up a bunch of soy into the shape of a hot dog. And you're like, why? Take what you know and expand it. The eggplant sandwich, 10 out of 10. One of my favorite foods in New York because they know whatever the chef there knows his ingredients, knows the taste.
Yeah.
When you try to do something, if I'm like, look, I took a bunch of chicken and steak and I made a salad.
Yeah. I mean,
people are like, what are you doing?
I think it's because, I mean, the real thing is that's like an argument that I've heard a lot where people are like, well, if you're vegan, why do you want to eat a hamburger? It's like, because I'm not morally opposed to hamburger patties. I'm morally opposed to the way that they are made.
Yeah.
What goes into them. I'm not like eating a hamburger patty and being like, this patty is evil. It's the way that there is harm being put into, like harm and violence put into the world. Well, not even violence, death, you know.
Yeah, we all get
which I think is unjust, but
all death isn't just.
I think so too, but I mean that's the real stance, is that all death is unjust, but the fact that
that's what makes it beautiful.
But then differentiating between man and animal is where people draw the line.
Not me. I've told you 100 times. I would eat a dog.
That's it. I respect that stance more than the people who are like,
oh, this animal's cute, so I don't want to eat it.
Yeah. There's a Gorilla Biscuit song about that.
Gorilla Biscuits?
Yeah. Called Cat. Yeah. But it's a song called Cats and Dogs. It's about how cats and dogs and animals like that are cute, so you can't kill them, but a pig and a cow and a chicken, whatever.
But anyways, I like a lot of vegan food. I have no problem with veganism other than my aforementioned, hey, I think you're pointed in the wrong direction.
But that's the thing, is like, I am fine with people's criticism of vegan food or whatever if you have an open mind to it. Like because it's like, you'll eat it, whatever. Like that pizza, the pepperoni pizza that we get.
Yes,
it's really good.
It's really good. I would give it I would say the weak point is the pepperonis.
There's just the cheese.
They nailed the cheese.
There's just something about cured meats, like pepperoni, hot dog, stuff like that is almost impossible to do vegan. Like, it's like there is no one-to-one analog where it's like chicken, and now with like the Impossible stuff, they kind of figured that out too. But just like pepperoni, bacon, kind of stuff like that, it's like hot dog. It's like kind of like hard, like, which is funny because those are some of the most processed meats.
That's why it's hard,
and there's
so much process to them.
Yeah, I know, but vegan food is only processed unless you're eating lima beans and baby corns.
My theory on that is, I think Impossible, like the Impossible meat, the lab grown meat. It's like, when you cook something with love, you can taste that.
Yeah, well, Impossible is science food.
Impossible science food, and it doesn't. There's not the animal's soul. When you kill the animal, its soul. And this is just a Mac idea.
Okay,
I've thought about this, and I'm like, I think they're gonna run into a thing where the food, there's that. It's like when you kill a jaguar in the forest and you eat its heart.
Yeah.
You gain some of its powers.
Okay.
Like, where does that idea come from? Maybe some Liver King back in the year
some
year 200
prehistoric Liver King
had some good ideas.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, like, when it comes to like the fake lab grown meat, they won't hit perfection until they figure out how to lab grow a soul.
Yeah.
And so until they like be able to like like
they have to figure out how to kill a lab grown cow in a halal manner,
something like that.
Yeah.
And once they figure out that, and so when it comes to like the vegan processed food, it just doesn't have that. It doesn't have that essence of terror or fear.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
So you're saying that you think the suffering
adds something
positive to the eating experience.
Probably.
Interesting.
Because if the mere fact of your mom cooking a meal, can add, because I've already talked about this. My mom, her food is terrible.
Yeah.
She never like it was. One grilled cheese sandwich was always black and one side was undercooked, which is insane.
It's like, just even it out,
which was insane to me. I'm your child, and you're just there. This was before smartphones. What is she getting distracted with? I don't understand.
Would she cook better for herself, or would she eat that same type of thing and be like, "This is fine"?
I think she would just eat different things.
Okay,
she would never,
because she was feeding your shitty American palate.
Maybe, but she only knew like 4 or 5 meals. Dude. She was not. So
that's got to be fucking brutal. My mom's not a great cook.
Is your mom Italian or is it just
no? My dad's Italian. My mom's just like white.
But they got meals.
Yeah, but she's just like Irish, English.
Yeah, that sucks.
Scottish, like the bland whites.
So she has an excuse to like, I don't know. Here's a like funeral potatoes. Here's a casserole. My mom, Hispanic. No Hispanic meals.
She wasn't rocking arroz con pollo.
No, there was one thing she knew. But
arroz con frijole.
She could make empanadas.
Okay.
That was like the one recipe she brought. But I remember as I like got into my 25s and started like, oh, you know what? I want to cook myself a meal. And I'm like, well, I love myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to just sit over this frying pan and watch it with my eyes and flip it when it's ready. And then it was, and I'm like, damn, this was amazing. So I think there's an aspect of, if love can make food better, I think terror, I think
you think there has to be some kind of emotion inside of the food,
and different foods require different emotions.
Okay.
Soul food, a white man can't make soul food. Really? Gordon Ramsay at the top of his game could not make soul food. Do you ever see that video of Gordon Ramsay making pad thai?
No, it's like dog shit though, right?
I think he makes it perfectly to the instructions, and the pad thai is like Taiwanese or whatever, and the chef is like, "This is good. It's not pad thai."
Yeah.
He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I made it exactly." He's like, "This is," and he like spits it out or whatever.
So funny.
It's like there's just certain things where it's
dude, yeah,
and it's not unknowable, but like an unimmutable. Is that the word?
I believe you.
I don't even know. I think I'm using that word wrong.
I do think though,
je ne sais quoi.
When I cook for myself, I'm like, this is fine. I love myself, but in a way.
Are you jacking off when you cook? You're loving yourself?
Am I jacking off when I cook? No, we have a shared kitchen.
I know, but that's take you back to your youth.
I know.
I don't think unimmutable is a word. Immutable is something immutable will never change and cannot be changed. Yeah, I use that word wrong.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whoops.
But I feel like when I cook for other people, I'm like, I'm putting my whole pussy into this, you know?
Yeah.
I'm putting my whole pussy into this tofu scramble.
And you could taste it.
Yeah, I think I'm good. It's funny. I think I'm a good cook for others.
That makes sense.
I think I'm fine for myself, but I'm also just like, most of the time when I'm cooking for myself, I'm like, let's just fucking get this meal. Like when I'm cooking for someone else, I'm like, oh, let's have a nice meal.
Because if I cook good, you might blow me even better.
Yeah.
I can't reach. So I'm just doing it for the calories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's the thing where it's like, if I'm cooking for another person or even like a group of people, I'm like, oh, this is because I want to share this with these people. Yeah. And if I'm cooking for myself, it's like, I need to eat an hour ago and I didn't. And now I'm hungry.
So I also think if like a hunter is the person who kills the animal for like a reason, like he
wanted to.
He's like feeding his family. That tastes better. If
I I do think it is a little bit of like
it's the soul of a restaurant that we were talking about it that has been cooking the same greasy burgers for 50 years.
Gus's Hot Dogs in Waterville, New York.
In that corner, it has 50. The walls are seasoned.
But do you agree with this kind of thing? It's like it was that time where they were doing that New Year's Eve thing, and it was like Rogan and Burr, and Burr was talking about like. He was eating like the elk that Rogan had killed. Yeah. And then Rogan's like, does it make you feel more aggressive? And blah, blah, blah. And Burr's like, no, it makes me feel like I'm eating elk. No. Like, do you, because I watched some video of like, I guess Sean O'Malley, the UFC fighter, was vegan. Mm-hmm. And he said when he stopped being vegan, he's like, I felt more aggressive and I felt more primal and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, that has to be some kind of like fucking like placebo effect. Yeah.
Placebo.
Well, I'm like, yeah, sure. You're getting more protein and you're getting a more complete protein in your diet.
You're trying to be,
but that's like literally all it is. If someone was like, I stopped being vegan and I started eating meat and I gained a bunch of muscle in the gym when I was working out, I go like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you were like, it made me more animalistic.
I started eating graham crackers and I can't get hard.
Yeah. I was just there. I'm like, you're okay. You're kind of bullshitting yourself.
That's why they were invented.
Yeah, because that and cornflakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's all I eat now,
dude. That's what I gotta eat. I gotta eat a big bowl of cornflakes before I go to bed, so to push down my. Because if you eat a bowl of Frosted Flakes, you'll reactivate your OnlyFans account.
Mm-hmm. But Tony the Tiger,
dude. Yeah,
so sexy,
dude. You know his tail kind of resembles a penis and whatnot. So then you're ready to have sex, and then you're like, oh, I gotta go find some women on OnlyFans that have sex. And then you eat a bowl of cornflakes. You're just blissfully asleep.
Yep. Hey, that's the podcast.
That is the podcast.
Thank you for subbing in.
Thank you for having me. This was
go pirate a movie. Go
pirate a movie. Go steal some stuff from the store.
Eat something good.
Yeah.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
You got go listen to a Little Time podcast.
Listen to a Little Time podcast. Patreon.com/a Little Time pod. You can come see me on the road with the former co-host of this podcast, Shane Smith. When is this coming out?
Today or tomorrow? Yeah.
Salt Lake this weekend. Toronto in July.
Hey, go see Mike.
Yeah. Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale, California in August.
What is that? Go see Mike and you're opening for Shane.
I'm opening for Shane on all these. And then I'm hopefully doing some headlining stuff at the end of the year.
Nice.
I have some offers, so I have to like work on that.
All right. And I'm going to open mics. If you're in New York.
Yeah. If you're in New York, find whatever open mic Matt goes to. Tell me how it goes. I'm interested.
Oh.
Tape Mac's set illegally and send it to me. I want to hear it.
Upload it to BitTorrent.
Yeah. And then he finds it. MacArthur Racist Tirade 2.
Upload it to Kazaa.
Dude,
and then it'll actually be hardcore porn instead of the wrong file.
You think it's MacArthur Racist Rant 2 and then it's just Crazy Frog.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.